New York Presbyterian is affiliated with 2 medical schools, Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine. From powering cutting-edge clinical trials for rare cancers, led by Dr. Gary Schwartz, to standardizing minimally invasive treatments for prevalent neurological conditions, pioneered by Dr. Jared Knopman, it's this unique collaboration across schools that makes New York Presbyterian suited to take on the most complex cases. Learn more at nyp.org/advances. New York Presbyterian is affiliated with 2 medical schools, Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine. From powering cutting-edge clinical trials for rare cancers, led by Dr. Gary Schwartz, to standardizing minimally invasive treatments for prevalent neurological conditions, pioneered by Dr. Jared Knopman, it's this unique collaboration across schools that makes New York Presbyterian suited to take on the most complex cases. Learn more at nyp.org/advances.
As you know, I'm just so sick of having to bring up my sexuality on the radio, because it's not the point of why I'm on this station. It's not, I think it's the least interesting part of who I am. And yet these issues keep coming up. And unfortunately for me, I have 25 plus 30 years of being around the gay community. There are a lot of nice people who are gay. I hope if you listen to the show, even if you don't buy into it makes you uncomfortable. I hope that if you listen to the show every day, you kind of like me. You know, I hope I present myself well to you. I'm trying to be a decent person. I hope I have changed some minds about whether everybody's a deviant and awful. I mean, I really do think that's important. But one of the things I got to do is call out insanity. And I've got to call out lies. And in my opinion, having been around a lot of trans individuals and gay individuals who embrace this aspect of the LGBTQ plus, collection of individuals, the trans movement is doing a lot of damage to a lot of people, to the gay community. That's one reason I'm being so vocal. I think they're doing a lot of damage to the acceptance level that was reached several years ago. I can't blame someone who's married with a wife and kids for saying, you know what, this just crosses the line for me. Maybe we made a mistake here. This is too much. And you're lying to my face. Like saying you have a penis and testicles, but you're a woman is a lie. It is not true. It is a biological lie. It is a genetic lie. It is a lie on every level. And a responsible person, I was going to say a regular person, but let me not say a regular person, a responsible person, regardless of their background, has to stand up for objective truth here. That's what I'm doing. I don't care whether you wear a dress. We can discuss how to navigate that in society. But if you're really going to look me in the eye and say, I have a penis and testicles, and because I put on makeup and a dress, I am now a woman, you're a liar. It is not correct. I have to throw some cold water and wake everybody up. That's just not true. Now, how do you deal with that in school? So I don't think we should be indulging this in school. But it's gotten worse. Some of these principals and teachers and the teachers' unions are basically saying, we're going to keep this a secret from your parents. Hey, I mean, I know what it's like. My father was as right-wing conservative as it comes. The day I told him I was gay, I thought, really bad things were going to happen. Fortunately, he was a better Christian and father than I gave him credit for. So we navigated. I understand more than probably anybody else who's talking about this. I understand the family pressure of saying something to your parents that's going to shock them and upset them. And trying to find a way to the light with that. So please don't discount my opinion, because I've been there. I understand it. But you can't keep these things secret from the parents, because the parents are responsible for the children until they're 18. Delegate Dave LaRock is trying to bring some sanity and some balance to this. He's got a bill that he's introduced called Sage's Law. Delegate LaRock, I appreciate you coming on. Walk me through Sage's Law and what's in the bill and what inspired you to bring this up. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you, and thank you for laying the groundwork for what I hope the legislature will consider to be a necessary common sense adjustment to the law.
Yeah.
The Sage's Law, which is named after Sage Blair, a young lady who experienced some pretty horrendous treatment, basically would require schools to notify parents if their child asserts a gender different from his or her sex. That's one. It would also prevent school counselors from withholding or encouraging minors to withhold information about the child's gender identity. Mm-hmm. So again, we're trying to bring the parents into this. And the third thing it would do is clarify that raising a child according to his or her biological sex, including decisions about the child's mental health and physical health, would not be construed as abuse. So you probably heard the Guzman controversy. Delegate Guzman had proposed actually criminalizing non-affirmation of a child's identity.
Yeah, so your 15-year-old son, biological son, is, I'm going to assert, is influenced by all the crazy Hollywood stuff and the music videos and maybe their friends, and says, oh, you know, my name is Billy, now you're going to call me Lily. And you are, under Delegate Guzman's bill, you would be obligated to go along with the mindset of your 15-year-old. I mean, that is insanity. I'm so thankful people are stopping that. But that demonstrates the mindset of a lot of the people who are in authority, especially in the educational community, because they're left of center, maybe way left of center. So how's this being received?
Well, it's certainly generating some chatter out in the media world. We've gotten feedback. I'll give you an example. A mom said that she's a mother of a trans child, mm-hmm. and that she's very grateful that we would introduce this, because she agreed that she shouldn't be separated from things that go on in school, especially something as important as a decision, like if a child is inclined to want to change their gender, parents should be brought into this. So that's what that mom agreed with. So I'm really encouraged by that. It's not a pro-trans, anti-trans bill. It's about protecting kids by involving their parents in very, very important decisions.
Are you getting a positive response from your colleagues? I mean, I assume most Republicans would find this to be a responsible piece of legislation. So are the Republicans on board, and any Democrats coming to you privately and saying, hey, I'd like to sign on to this if you can add something or tweak something, or we like it as it is? What's the reaction amongst your colleagues?
Well, I'll be fair. It hasn't been much reaction. I suspect that they're preparing their defensive talking points against it. I did notice in Delegate Bohm, who identifies as transgender in the media, started posturing against the bill, claiming that to involve parents might leave children homeless. And Delegate Rome actually referred to keeping the government out of sensitive conversations. I think that's pretty close to what Delegate Rome said. And it's exactly the opposite of what this would do. This wants to involve parents in conversations that are already taking place between the child and the government. So we want to bring in the parent into that conversation, because it's just necessary. They know the child the best. They love them. They want what's best for them. So to exclude them really only puts the child in danger of harm, as was the case with Sage.
Yeah. Well, Delegate Rome is not a responsible legislator and shouldn't be at the Capitol. I mean, you won't say that. I'm going to say that. And that's coming from a gay guy who has watched very closely what's happening here. I don't know why that individual is down there. I know some people think they're kind of serious, but this betrays the mindset that everyone has been worried about with mainstreaming formerly sexual deviancy into our regular life. And as a gay man, that bothers me a lot. I'm not on board with this, and I think it's a huge mistake, and I'm not going to be silenced into saying, oh, well, you're kind of in the same club with me, so I'm going to go along with this. This is really nefarious. If you're getting between a responsible parent, and their child, you are wrong. You are mistaken. That's got to be a fundamental principle of Virginia, that we're not going to allow that. And I applaud the fact that you're bringing this up. And I hope more people will stand up with you, because I think it's important. If we don't take a stand here, the next decade's going to be unbelievably confusing and bizarre. And I think the end result is going to be a lot of damaged people and harm to our society.
Yeah, we're pretty much in agreement on that. I think we're living it right now, somewhat. But on the matter of parents' rights and parents' roles, I think that was certainly one of the issues that Governor Youngkin latched onto. And distinguished himself from candidate Terry McAuliffe. And I think the public kind of sided with the parents in that case and said that, we don't want to be left out. I'm from Loudoun County. We've kind of seen that as an extreme. I'm proud of the parents that stood up and said, you won't cut us out of the process of and not allow us to be involved in the important decision. So it's moving in the right direction.
Does it go to committee soon? Or?
I think it will be set for committee January 31st.
Gotcha.
That's what it tentative from the chairman yesterday.
Okay. Well, we'll put it on the calendar and keep tracking it. And I appreciate you bringing it up. And I hope that the people who listen to this program, who I believe are open-minded, responsible, thoughtful, sensitive people. I don't think we've got mean, nasty people listening to this program, or they wouldn't be listening to me. I hope you will speak up about this, because your silence is going to let some bad things happen. You've got to stand up for parental rights. And Delegate LaRock, you're right. That's one reason Glenn Youngkin won, because the average person isn't prepared to give up their kids and turn over who runs their family to some teacher or principal or school superintendent who's never met their family. We've got to stop this, and I appreciate you standing up to do that. Yeah, and just quickly add that if parental rights sounds a little abstract, but it is really about protecting children from the horrendous things that Sage experienced when she was kind of released into a system where predators stepped in and took advantage. So yeah, exactly. Thank you, Delegate Dave LaRock. Appreciate it very much. We'll talk to you again as the rest of the session unfolds. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, absolutely. I know that's going to upset some people. I don't care. I'm going to speak the truth to you people, because no one else seems prepared to do it. I thank God for people like Delegate LaRock for standing up here, because it'd be very easy to say, I don't want to upset people up in Northern Virginia. They won't like this. You know what? Everybody needs a reality check, and I'm here to bring it to you.
New York